Welcome back, sailors. This is your captain speaking, and welcome to another episode of BRUISE News. We're on number 10 now. We're getting them out there now. It's really starting to pick up. I'm staying on top of it. We got some news. We got some stuff to talk about because we got results from yesterday's fight night. Which, by the way, holy smokes! I think I'm like 2 for 15. I called every fight wrong last night. I'm starting to think that everybody could make money off me. And you just watch this video and you tell everybody you know about it, and they watch it, and they pick the opposite fighter that I choose to win that fight, and you win money. And it's that simple, because it's getting a little bit weird, because I thought that last night I was positive about a lot of these fights that were happening. I thought I was absolutely going to nail them, and they went completely different, and that's where I'm gonna go into it right now. So Sandhagen ended up beating Lineker. He eked out a decision. It was a really close fight, actually. They're significant, and their strikes in the fight were very, very close. I think Sandhagen maybe had him, maybe like 20 up on him, like 5 each round, I'd say, like around there. The fight was good. It was back and forth. Part of the problem with Lineker at featherweight is that he is a little bit short. I think he's like 5'6" or 5'7". He has really long arms, so he's good at coming in and out of the pocket, and he's really good at abusing those long arms with that short body by doing that. But Sandhagen was just all around very well. He took him down when he had the chance to. He was lighting him up with jabs and straights and kicks and everything that you need to be able to do to stop somebody from doing the things that they do. He really disrupted Lineker's pace, and that was very important for the fight. Second fight, Glover, who I said there's no way that he's getting knocked out. Crazy thing is he got dropped twice in the fight and rocked another time really, really bad. And he ended up weathering the storm, and he ended up submitting Kudalaba, which was pretty nuts. It was just a rear naked, I think it was, or a Kimura. I forget exactly what the sub is off the top of my head. But he subbed him. That was in the second round. But yeah, he was rocked a bunch of times, and I was pretty upset that that's the way that fight went, because typically you do want to see younger guys come out on top instead of having the older guys kind of stay where they were. And I thought that Glover he's kind of past his prime, and I don't want to keep watching him, but if he's going to do what he's doing and he does it well, then all the power to him. Moving on, Perry got the unanimous decision over Oliveira. Now, what was weird about this fight is Oliveira looked like he got injured at the end of the first round, a first round that he dominated. He completely dominated Perry, and usually the way that goes is when you dominate that first round, you just start taking off with the fight. Well, no, that's not the way that it went. It looked like Oliveira ended up getting injured at the end of the first round. His left leg was hurt, and then he just couldn't throw anything together. He couldn't throw kicks. He wasn't able to go to the body. He had to circle out of range from Perry a lot more because he's a taller fighter, and he couldn't get anything going on the ground. So I'm not sure if the injury was that bad, or maybe it was a nagging injury from training camp and it ended up just floating over to the actual fight. But Perry, he came to fight, he came to win. He was saying that he dropped 19 pounds for the fight, so when he actually showed up for the fight, he was 19 pounds heavier. So that's welterweight's 170, so he was about 190 pounds, which is huge. That's a lot of weight to have, and there's no way that Oliveira is packing on that much weight. Oliveira actually used to be a lightweight. He used to cut down the lightweight, but weight cuts have been a lot different without the UVs now. So there you go. IVs, not UVs, sorry. Not UV rays. Come on, the sun, it helps everybody. Anyways, Greg Hardy won against Smoliakov. Smoliakov looked like a balloon animal, and he fought like one. He literally had the intensity and animosity of a balloon animal. It was like watching a UFC fighter versus a clown at a kid's birthday party. It was absolutely nuts how bad the guy actually was. Dana White was saying, how did this guy beat 9 people? Because he was absolute garbage. The only reason why I said that Smoliakov was going to win was because I don't think Greg Hardy is as advanced in MMA as a lot of the other people in the heavyweight division. Now, with heavyweights, everybody can knock out everybody, but there is still a gap, and I thought that gap would make up for what was happening in that fight, but it did not. Greg Hardy just went out there and he just punched Smoliakov in the face, and Smoliakov did nothing. I think he threw one punch, and it didn't land, and he couldn't take him down. It was bad. I have no idea how that guy got a fight in the UFC. The UFC should have given him a different fight. A lot of people are saying that it was fixed and they're padding Greg Hardy's record, but the UFC's never done that before. They're not the type of company to do that. They don't give people cans. In fact, it's the opposite, and they try to test people. You look at CM Punk, you look at with the Mickey Gall fight and how they were testing him. So I don't think that they were trying to pad Greg Hardy's record at all. It just doesn't make any sense, because eventually you're going to get to the top, and what happens then? You just get smashed out by whoever. Moving on to the last fight. Jacare versus Hermansson. Okay, so I called Hermansson to lose against David Branch. Okay, I'm not a big fan of David Branch, but he dusted David Branch. Then he goes on and he takes this Jacare fight on 4 weeks' notice, and holy smokes, the dude is so good. Keep an eye on Hermansson. He's definitely going to be a top contender. He's definitely going to be in that title picture without a doubt. The guy is an absolute savage. He was beating Jacare on the ground. In the second round, he landed 108 strikes on the ground in Jacare's guard, which is the most dangerous place to be. Jacare is arguably the best submission artist in the planet. Okay, he's arguably the best. You could make a valid argument that the dude could not be beaten by anybody, and that he is the top of the top when it comes to guys on the ground. And he had nothing for this guy. Hermansson landed, I think I got it right here, he landed 256 of 496 strikes. The guy threw 500 strikes in a 5-round match at middleweight. That's something that featherweights and lightweights do. Nate Diaz has the record. Nate has a good record too for that, throwing like 400 or 500 punches himself, punches and kicks in combination. But Nate has something like 600. And Nate is obviously a guy who has an insane gas tank, but this guy at middleweight, who realistically, these guys are all still cutting weight. So this guy's 200 pounds probably, and he threw 500 strikes. That's disgusting. That is an insane amount. That is a tempo. That's crazy. Like, that's like, I don't know how else to put it. That is an insane pace. Now, that's not to say that Jacare wasn't in the fight at all, because there were a lot of times where I actually thought Jacare was going to win this fight. He was really starting to go to the body more, and Jacare is a big time power puncher, and he was really going hard to the body, and because of that, when you start blocking to the body, you start opening up the head, and when Jacare goes to the head with those power punches, that's when he drops you. And it really looked like that was starting to happen, where that body work was starting to lead up to Hermansson slowing down, but he didn't. He kept up the pace. He kept landing 50, 60 punches, 70 punches in each round consecutively. In that second round, he landed 108, which is absolutely disgusting. The dude is on fire right now. He took that fight on 4 weeks' notice, and that dude is definitely a guy who they would be considering for title contention. You have Adesanya, you have lots of other guys that are waiting for Whitaker. You got Yoel Romero, so there's a lot going on with that in that aspect of it. The middleweight division is looking real good, and this dude is absolutely fantastic. And if you get the chance, make sure to watch the highlights from the fight, because the dude was going off. It was like watching a lightweight fight. It was crazy. Just a heads up too, Jim Miller ended up winning his fight. He was on the Facebook prelims, I believe. Now, I don't know if you guys know Jim Miller very well, and I was just telling my friend about this, but Jim Miller actually had to take a few years off. Wow. He had to take a few years off from fighting because he ended up contracting Lyme disease from a tick while he was hunting. So he's fighting with Lyme disease, and I think he's won the last 2 or 3 of his 4 fights, or 2 of his last 3 fights. But anyways, he's not doing bad for a guy who has Lyme disease. It's pretty crazy. That's got to be really bad on your weight cuts. It's got to be really bad for your dieting. It's got to be really bad, But the fact that he's still able to fight with a disease like that is pretty nuts. Like, people pass away from that stuff. People are sick in bed for years because of this. So it's a scary thing. Watch out for deers. Watch out for ticks. It's a scary thing. But the fact that that guy is still doing what he can do at that level with that disease is pretty astounding. Other than that, there's not really much news except for the drama surrounding the fights and what was going on and people talking about stuff. And we have 2 good cards coming up. We have the Iaquinta versus Cowboy fight coming up next weekend or the weekend after, and then May 11th we have Volkov versus Aldo, which is a featherweight battle. Volkov is the guy that just beat Chad Mendes and put him into retirement. And then you have Namajunas versus Andrade. Now that fight's really scary to me because Rose is one of my favorite female fighters. She's, to be honest, she's probably my favorite female fighter. When she beat Jacek, I was losing my mind, and then she beat her again. It was crazy. I was jumping when it happened. I was so excited, but I'm scared because Andrade is a monster. Like, she has the body of, a well fit man. Like, she has a female face and then a jacked man body. Like, it's scary, and she's a good puncher and she's good on the ground. But eventually, I think sometime this week, maybe the next video, I'll do my predictions for the upcoming fights. Maybe I'll do both in one video. Maybe I'll do them separately. I'm not really sure at the moment. I think I'll probably just do Cowboy and Iaquinta in one video, and then I'll save the other one for when the fight gets closer, because May 11th is still about 2 weeks away. Anyways, I want to thanks everybody for watching. I hope this was an informative video and that I'm doing well. Hopefully the quality and everything. Sorry about the burp. I'm still not really able to edit anything. I'm just taking one takes, because my laptop really isn't good enough to be doing videos. It doesn't have the high quality that my phone does. Not that my phone has super high quality either. And now I'm just dragging on. But now that my phone doesn't have high quality, but it's not really the best for editing at the moment, so I have to figure that out. Maybe I can record the videos on my phone, move them over to my laptop, and do it that way. But I'm still trying to figure out stuff and tweak it. So it's still a learning curve, and I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to make the videos as good as they're getting, but we got to make sure to like, share, and subscribe so we can get somewhere with these. I appreciate everybody for watching this, and make sure you have a great one.